Grinding Gear Games did it. They nerfed the strategy that I just showcased. Not the one in which I was juicing my maps, with Abyss. No, they nerfed the anarchy, ghosting, and beyond strategy in which people were earning 10 mirrors a day, getting tons of mage bloods, headhunters, and completely destroying the economy. And yes, as many of you pointed out in my last video, the economy is not fixed or anything. The game is not in a fixed state. It is going to be broken for quite some time. Everything is going to be incredibly wonky. Essentially, 2 weeks into the league, we are about a month and a half into the league's economy, where there were a ton of headhunters flooding the market, divines were at a wild price, mage bloods were insane, and all these items that are now almost useless were super inflated in price. Yes, I'm talking about the anarchy all flames, which now are about 20 chaos, and they were selling for 2 divines just yesterday, which is absolutely insane. So what exactly is going on? Why is everybody aflame? It's essentially fear of missing out, or FOMO. It's something that Grinding Gear Games constantly uses, okay? They use it with supporter packs, the ones that you can buy 3 to 4 months, or the ones you can buy every year. They use it in their monetization all the time, and the league cycle is essentially FOMO as well. But why in this particular circumstance are people so pissed off? Well, it's essentially the fact that lots of people, the 1%, were able to abuse a certain mechanic that was unintended and absolutely dominate the game. These people were sitting way up here, okay? They were literally printing mirrors. They were getting tons of headhunters and mage bloods, which in the eyes of many players are almost unattainable all the time. And now this strategy is completely gone. And what was happening when this strategy was actually happening? Well, the price of these very rare items, Nimbus, Headhunter, and Mageblood, dropped substantially. And the prices involved in doing the strategy rose massively. But what this did, right, was it allowed people who really wanted to buy into the strategy and farm all this crap to do so if they wanted to invest. And it allowed people who normally wouldn't get items like a Mageblood to actually afford it, okay? Headhunters were about 20 divine orbs. That's absolutely insane. That's like a fifth of what they usually sell for at this point in the league. It's incredible. So now we have the people who are abusing the strategy, who are upset, those 1%ers, okay? They were doing this, they were making tons of profit, they absolutely loved it. Now they're upset because the strategy has been nerfed, okay? And that's something that I agree with. It should have been nerfed. I don't agree with the 1%ers. They can be upset. That's totally fine. But I think it should have been nerfed. You saw the gameplay before. It was ridiculous, and it was probably hurting the game servers in addition to the game economy. And then you have the people who are not the 1%. We can just bulk them into the 99%, essentially. The 99% are upset as well because lots of them were in a state where they could just play the game normally, do a regular farming strategy, or just do what I do, hop in, do some abysses, kill monsters, slowly get divines over time, and afford these ultra powerful items as well that aren't locked behind bosses or anything. No, they're locked behind divination cards or just map drops. They really were excited about that. They thought, oh, this is the league. I'm going to be able to afford a Mageblood or a Headhunter or a Nimbus, and I'm going to make a crazy character with that. And now they can't do that because what happened, the 1%ers who abused this mechanic, this unintended strategy, made a ton of bank selling all this stuff, and they still had a stockpile left over for when the strategy was nerfed. So they still have Headhunter cards, they still have Mage, Blood, Nimbus, whatever. Those are the 3 examples I'm constantly going to go back to. And they have them in their banks, and now you know what's happening to all the prices of those items? They're rising super quickly, everyone. So now they are completely unattainable to the 99% of players who thought for a brief moment, oh, because of this wild strategy that some people are partaking in, I will be able to afford them. So that is where all of this unrest is coming into play. And I thought it might be a little interesting, a little fun for you people on YouTube who might not frequent some Path of Exile spaces to take a look at what is actually going on here. So we have the forums, the beautiful Path of Exile forums. Yep, it's Reddit. It's not the actual Path of Exile forums, it's Reddit, which is something that Grinding Gear Games obviously pays very close attention to, because many of the changes that they're making are snap reactions to huge threads on Reddit. I'm talking about the Veiled Orb drop rate increase. I'm talking about the nerfs to the Nameless Seer, which I haven't even encountered and I'm just hitting T17s, or the Divine Devoted modifier, which I also haven't seen. Lots of people were posting their escapades on Reddit, and lots of people were like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm going to totally abuse this. Let's elk it, or not even elk and go. Let's just spam maps in the map device until we get this stuff. And Grinding Gear Games basically nerfed it into oblivion. And then this Scarab strategy with the Anarchy stuff and All Flames has also been nerfed because it was showcased on Reddit yesterday, and GGG acted very fast on it. I'm sure people have been doing it ever since that All Flame came into the game with the ability to reroll the T17s to have the ghosts. But yesterday was the big day when it was showcased to the world by Fubgun and Grimro. So let's just take a look at this thread. Don't you love it when the whole game is tailored around a dozen of full-time streamers? The All Flame of Ember of Anarchy now causes a monster pack to be composed of a single rogue exile instead of multiple. The Nameless Seer is now much rarer. The Divine mod is now much rarer. The people who are most benefiting from these mechanics all have tens of mirrors by this point, while casual players will never see a Seer, a Divine mod, or a pack of exiles, because God forbid the casual player might actually benefit from any of these strats. And then I Wear Two Black Socks comments and says, the people who farm that strat even benefited from the patch notes. Their drops have literally doubled in price, which I touched on a moment ago. This person, though, Boobasaurus, what a name, has an odd, I think the wrong viewpoint. Lots of people were abusing this, and I don't really think it was streamers. It was the true 1%, the true no-lifers who were doing this. And you know who brought it to light and showcased it to everyone, gave other people the opportunity to do this, and showcased it to Grinding Gear Games, who then said, we can't have this in our game, we're going to destroy it? It was the streamers. It was Grimro, it was Fubgun, who said, look at this degeneracy. I don't know, do people want to participate in this? Grinding Gear Games, do you want this in your game? And GGG said no, and people got a little outraged at them. A lot of people are very angry at streamers here, but I don't think that's merited. I think they actually are helping showcase the stuff that is going wrong. This particular strategy, I think, deservedly was nerfed. However, you know, the frog strategy with the devoted divines and everything, and the map spamming and the map device, I think they nerfed that in the wrong way. I think they should have gone about it differently, because now people aren't going to encounter stuff like this. But this particular one, the All Flame Ember of Anarchy strategy, totally merited, and I don't think all the hate that people are getting is deserved at all. And we can take a look here. Patch notes dropped, and so did the All Flame Ember of Anarchy. As we noticed, it's completely destroyed in price. There's just a lot of anger here because of the fear of missing out. And you know, we talked about it a little bit ago, you guys. Fear of missing out is something that you can get caught up in, and you can really care about, and you can say, oh, well, because I missed out on this opportunity, I'm not going to play the game. I wouldn't focus on that. Focus on what you can do now in the game, what you really enjoy doing, and just focus on yourself and your time and your value in the game. If you get enjoyment out of these abusive things that you can do in Path of Exile, well, then you better exploit early and exploit often. But if it's really affecting you to the level wherein you can't enjoy the game at all, I feel like you need to reorient yourself a little bit. Take a look, just make sure that you're not too attached here, because it's bad, it's not good, obviously, that this was allowed, but don't be angry at the streamers or angry at Grinding Gear Games. There's a lot going on here, and obviously this was unintended. It had to be fixed, and it wasn't going to be left in the game for a while. So to those who did abuse this particular unintended mechanic, well, you made a lot of money, and you made a lot of people angry. But I think all those people should breathe, calm down, and just play some more Path of Exile or another game. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. This league, the economy might be scuffed, but there's always next time, right? Right? Okay. I think that's it. I think I'll stop rambling. Hope you liked the little compilation at the beginning showcasing my farming strategies versus someone like Bubgun. It was a fun little thing to make. Anyways, that's all for this one. If you really liked it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Did you see the little button just highlight? It's super cool. It does that now. If you haven't subscribed, the button highlights and it says, oh, you should totally highlight. And I'm going to make you subscribe because the button is highlighted, right? Okay, really though. Anyways, that's all for this video. Talakura, Exiles.